Should King Charles and Queen Camilla step aside for William and Kate, since they are by far and away the most popular royals in this country? What do you think?
I think give him his moment, you know, let the king have his time. He's waited long enough, bless him, right? It's a long time. He's the eldest king to be into monarchy, isn't he, right, at the time. So I just think let him have his moment, let him reign as long as he wishes to. If the moment comes where he does resign and then his son takes over, great. I think we're all looking forward to that day. It would be great. So I'm kind of on the fence with that. I'm excited about Faith's generation and AJ's generation, that in the future they're going to have, you know, William and Kate be their king and queen, and I'm quite excited about that. We don't need to rush it.
All right, let's go to Bobby, because I mean it's going to be a long wait if anyone's waiting for the king to abdicate. There's no tradition of that in this country whatsoever. Plus, he believes that it is his bounden duty, and in fact his kind of heavenly and religious duty to be the monarch. He's not going to abdicate any more than his mother would have done.
Definitely not. So for my sixth form, I got a scholarship from my local comprehensive to Eton College, and Prince Harry was the year below me. And I remember being like, oh God, this could be a future monarch. And obviously, Charles was waiting in line then and now has become king. And even back then in the early 2000s, 2010s, 2020s, he's someone that's taken on great responsibilities, whether it's the environment or farming or architecture or thinking about the prospects of young people or interfaith dialogue. He's someone I think has embraced the role of having that sort of almost that power, and I think we should give him his chance. Again, monarchy is not an election. It's not like a popularity contest. It's someone that can withstand all the government's ups and downs, and I think he has been almost like been groomed for this position for years, so give him his chance.
And what do you think of the fact that, do you remember when he was just newly anointed king and he started to stop the royal cavalcade, get out of the car, you know, have these walkabouts, talk to people, and people thought he's doing this his own way, and I think he's won many fans and friends since he.
Yes, I have a lot of respect for King Charles. He's helped over 1 million young people with the Prince's Trust now, called the King's Trust. He was in the RAF, he was in the Navy. There's lots of things that are good about him. He's not a bad king, especially compared to previous ones like Dirty Bertie and his namesake Charles I. I mean, I could go on, but he's really not that bad. However, I would say, and I say this as a monarchist, I think by the time he's 80, it is perhaps better for not just the survival of the monarchy, the country, the people, and his health, that he stepped down for Prince William. I think there is a huge grief in this country about the love lost, that love connection lost that we had with the Queen. Because no matter how respected King Charles is, the people of this country loved the Queen, and we felt love back from her, and it was actually an incredibly different experience of monarchy to people.
All right, let's go to the calls, because the calls are coming in thick and fast. Jack's on the line in Winchester. Hello, Jack. How do you feel about this?
Hi, Vanessa.
Hi.
Hi, Jeff. So, I think strongly that Charles is perfectly correct to be in his position. I don't think he should be stepping down at all. I mean, what is he, 76, is he? I think he's completely compass mentis.
Of course.
He's physically resilient. He's just been through his cancer diagnosis. He's still doing appointments, and he was doing while he was still being treated. And I think if you look at the role of a monarch of the country, we need a sedate person with a sense of occasion and grandeur. That's what a monarch does for us.
All right, Jack, I'm going to move on because I take your point, and we've got lots of people wanting to make theirs. Let's talk to Alison in York. Alison, you don't think that William and Kate have really got the time to accede to the throne?
Certainly not at the moment. But the other thing that hasn't been mentioned or considered about the royal family is that they must have succession planning in place. So Charles was groomed to be king. He had to wait a very long time for it, and I personally think he's doing a very good job. You have to take everybody as they come, different personalities and everything else. So he was groomed into that place. William is being groomed into that place, but not yet.
All right, Alison, thank you. Let's go to Sean in County Durham. Sean, you're not keen on the monarchy anyway, are you?
I tell you what, it should be abolished, Pet, because I tell you what, there's people suffering in this country, right? You know, they get things cut and things like that. The royal family have never worked in that day in their lives, and yet they get received a hand and foot everywhere they go. They want to be... I tell you what, I'm fuming like. There's more to worry about in this country than a royal family.
On the other hand, I mean, you know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say lots of things.
They get everything handed to them, Pet.
But
they don't have to do a day's work.
But number one, they do work. They spend, hours and hours, not of every day, but of a great deal of time attending things, conferring things, cutting ribbons, holding conferences, presenting OBEs and MBEs and all different honours, hosting. And what about the way in which they're used by governments to make kind of statements? For example, the invitation to President Trump, which is a really big deal. And we know that President Trump thinks it's a huge deal, and his mother was born in Scotland. He venerates the monarchy. In that way, it's very clear to see how the royal family can do an immense amount for this country to secure for us all sorts of things that we need to secure, like peace, like trade deals, like all sorts of things, Sean. And also loads of people just love them and find them incredibly entertaining and found them very kind of emotionally inspiring, and don't they? Lots of, and plus tourism, great boon for tourism.
I also think, Sean, you might be slightly disappointed if we suddenly had President Starmer peacocking around a presidential palace. That costs the country a huge amount of money too. And what would we get back for that? We certainly wouldn't get all the tourism and interest and soft power back into the country that the royal family brings. So be careful what you wish for.
Let's give Sean the right to reply. Sean, one line in response to that.
I tell you what it is, Vanessa. I'm sick to the back teeth of people sticking up for them, right? There's millions of people on waiting lists. They get in straight away. They don't have to pay for it. Some people have to pay for it.
Well, I should think they do pay for it. They probably have private healthcare. They probably do pay for it, Sean. But you're right. You're right to say they can afford to pay for it. That's true. And you're also right to say if you have private healthcare, you get seen very quickly. You're absolutely right about that. I just wonder whether if you disbanded the monarchy, suddenly NHS waiting lists would get shorter or not. But I really appreciate the call and your passion. Thank you very much. Let's talk to Maggie in Wiltshire. Hi, Maggie.
Hi.
Hi. How do you feel about this?
I don't believe that King Charles should abdicate. He's a loving, caring man who's given his entire life to Queen and country, and I believe that we should accept that and give him as much time as he needs. And Prince William will learn a lot from him, and hopefully make an even better king that this good king is making now.
Well, that's a very charming way of putting it, Maggie. Very elegant. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks, Maggie.